Hey guys, it's Diamond from Diamonds and Kings. Today is a TOTD and I wanted to talk to you about depression. So this week, or actually a little bit of this week and the last week, I kind of was having like a really hard time with depression. What does that mean exactly? So I've been diagnosed with depression. I have like crippling depression. How it manifests for me is I'm usually pretty good about keeping it off of me. And by keeping it off, I mean like when I start to feel it creeping up, then I like do something to kind of like keep myself out of it. I'll make a video later on about exactly what are my techniques on what do I do personally. But specifically what happened this time was I started to get overwhelmed. I'm pretty much like the primary person to like make decisions, and well, me and my girlfriend both make decisions, but I'm like the person that thinks ahead of time and manages certain things. She has her own things that she manages. She has things that she's good at, things that I'm good at. But I've been kind of like more so overwhelmed because a lot of stuff has been happening, especially with the coronavirus, things like that. Money's on the shorthand, like everybody else kind of thing. But yeah, nevertheless, it kind of crept up on me and it had me feeling some kind of way. Crippling depression, right? What exactly do I feel when I have crippling depression? I feel an overwhelming amount of like hopelessness. Even though I mentally have the capability to like figure out solutions, or just like many of you would, it feels as if there is no answer. That's like a strong feeling. And like, I would say I'm a little bit more aware than others, especially very self-aware. So I'm like aware that if I stay there in that feeling, when that feeling is there, if I stay there, then it's gonna be like very hard to kind of like get out, kind of like quicksand. So yeah, I know it's very common for people to have depression, especially when you start to kind of wake up and realize kind of how the world is and, you know, things like that. But I think depression in my life right now is very important. And I'm not talking about just like depression, like we need to fight it and all that. But I think there was something that I heard when I was in high school actually, was that you cannot grow without resistance. And at first it sounded kind of silly to me because like I was extremely naive in high school, probably like the first maybe 1 or 2 years, freshman, sophomore year. And I was just thinking like, I had this feeling like, why not just have fun and good times all the time? And while it is good to like want to have fun and have good times, you do need to overcome things, because through that you get stronger. It requires you to kind of like gather your marbles, so to speak, and resituate them, to examine them, see what's what. And so I think that's invaluable. So for depression, for me, it's like, I find when there are things that I need to do, depression is kind of there sometimes, but it's there the most when I need to do things that are the most important. Like helping somebody, for example. It'll really come up really hard. Or I think actually probably more so after I help somebody, it like really hits me. I think it kind of tries to make me like immobile so I can't help other people. It almost feels kind of like a force, so to speak. But overall, I would say that helping people and like that feeling you get knowing that even just like you gave somebody a smile, for me personally, is like invaluable. That's like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's like, for me, it's like for all those who've played like basketball or sports, making that like last point and it like really counted, you know what I mean? But back to depression. I think that is my biggest hurdle, just on a consistent basis, depression, just because if I don't hurry up and make moves, if I don't hurry up and situate myself so I can kind of like get out of that, then I know I'm gonna be there for a while and it's gonna suck. And so usually what I found to be the most helpful is to express myself, whether that be drawing, like freestyling, whether it be dancing, rapping, singing, whatever, listening to music. But I'm kind of careful on the music I pick, because music can be helpful because it's like, there are like beats and stuff like that which are good, but actually the beats do change you on like a frequency level. Like it changes your brain waves and makes you more susceptible. And so the words play a big part. So if you're listening to like not so great words, they may sound cool, but if they're like negative, that's not really gonna help. So if you are Christian, then worship is a good option. But there are other alternatives. It just depends. There are good hip hop artists like Childish Gambino. I really like Kid Cudi. That's like my all-star favorite rapper. So yeah, I think that's a big part, because if you get depressed and then you clam up and then you don't speak, you don't talk to anybody, you kind of just you're like in depression, you're isolated. Over time, you're gonna start to feel like numb, and that's like not a good feeling, because then you're so overwhelmed and so buried by these negative emotions, you're almost like detached from everything because the pain is too great. So you want to get on it, you know what I mean? For people, I know I've gotten to that place where it was like really hard for me to feel even like emotions. Like when I was younger, I was really desensitized to like death. I saw people die. A lot of important people in my life like passed away, and just friends dying all the time. So it was like a very like normal thing for me. So even now when I hear people die, I was like I'm like very connected to the fact that like tons of people die all the time. And yeah, I know that's like morbid, but that's just like reality. But for other people who feel that way, there is hope. You can work out of it. I say find things that move you, even if it's just a little bit. You have to be grateful and okay with just a little bit at a time. It's just how it is. It's like process. It's almost like going to the gym. It's like you went to the gym and you worked out really hard for like however long, 30 minutes, 10 minutes, 5 minutes, hours, who cares? But you're not necessarily going to get that 8-pack in that one day. It's going to take time. So what I did is I'm really into like music, probably more so TV, a moment where I really connect on an empathetic level with a situation, a character, whatever, and really kind of put yourself in their shoes. And this is my technique because I have an easier time being empathetic than kind of like being it toward myself. It's like easier for some reason. And then you start to kind of feel something. You know, it's okay to push out a tear. That's really helpful. That's what I usually do, and it really helps. And then once you kind of get that ball moving, you're able to process your own emotions, maybe some trauma, what happened to you, damage that happened to you. And the goal should be that you see what happened on both sides as honest and unbiased as you possibly can. Try to forgive yourself and whoever else was involved, and then you let it go. That process will look different for everybody. I mean, as far as like how you go about it, but I think that's like a good skeleton, so to speak. So yeah, that's my thought of the day. If you guys want to know more about my journey with depression, if you guys want to share some of your journeys, if you guys want to private message me, Instagram, Twitter is Coach Diamonds and Kings. On Facebook, it's Diamonds and Kings Life Coaching. I would love to hear from you guys. I really enjoy helping people, so if you guys want to hang out or just talk, we don't have to talk about anything super personal, just come and say hi, hey, what's up? And yeah, I want to get to know you guys. So let me know, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye.